You can't say that. With your host, Amanda Carey, special guest, CJ Lance, Nora G, Damon Detroit, and Andrew Shank.
Hello, and welcome to another production of You Can't Say That. I'm your host, Amanda Carey. This is a show where we introduce topics that are controversial in nature. And should anyone step, we'll smack the taste out of that bitch's mouth as we discuss controversial issues. Today's issue is actually about weed. Weed, the sticky icky, wacky tobacco, the ganja. Look, stuff's been around forever, really. In fact, the first written example of marijuana was in 2027 BC. Yeah, we haven't gone that the other way yet. Shit, y'all are on to me. I'm a time traveler. It was actually mentioned by the Emperor, Chinese Emperor Shennong. The story apparently goes that he laughed for 45 minutes when his advisor couldn't figure out the fucking finger trap. Look, this is as good as the humor's going to get all day, okay?
It's just like Emperor Shennong.
Shennong. That was the name, Shennong.
Yeah.
Look, unless Wikipedia is lying to me. So, also they have found weed in pipes dug up in the backyards of houses in Stratford-upon-Avon, which is the town that Shakespeare lived in and wrote his plays in. Which, honestly, weed is about the only way you can get through half of his shit.
Makes sense.
And also, weed also happens to be the most used illicit drug in the world with an estimated 220 million users. So, today, we're talking about weed. And our guests today are Damon Detroit.
How you doing?
Andrew Shank. CJ Lance. Don't ever do that again. You're not allowed to do that.
I'm sorry, I should have done the other breast.
It really was. No, don't do that again. We got CJ Lance, and we got Nora Nasik. No. Look, it's not my fault you've got a fucked up last name.
That's why I just go by Nora G.
Nora G.
Yeah, I just go by Nora G.
The basic.
It's
Nora, see, I was going to do the basic joke, but that's just too easy.
No, it's
the real life.
It's basic.
Yeah.
Nah,
Okay.
basic.
Nah, basic.
Put the G in.
G-N-B-A-S-I-C.
The G is silent, so for my stage name, I just go by Nora G.
Nora
It's
G.
the easiest. No, I'm not a Michael Jackson.
The soft, dulcet tones of Nora G on stage, everyone.
Oh, I'm doing the noise.
No, it's
I never do noises, really.
All right.
I feel like a grown man shouldn't say that.
Tell them I'm awake.
We're getting off track already. All right. So, with all of us being a bunch of comedians here, just got to ask the question up front. Do you guys get high before you get on stage?
No.
No?
I've done it once.
Did
No, I've done it twice.
Twice? No, wait, no, shit. Three. I did it
I've
three
done
times.
it 2 times.
So yes.
Yeah.
No, but like I had to stop because
I was going up my third next week.
No, I did it. The first time was on my 24th birthday when, did we say names? Like another comic let me hit some of his stuff.
Whatever it rhymes with.
Right.
Does it
Weed.
rhyme
Just
with-
say weed. Look, if we start listing off brands and strains,
No.
we'll
I meant the name of the person.
Oh, the comedian's name.
Just another.
Yeah.
Does it rhyme with Leafly?
No, it rhymes with Meg.
Meg.
What?
Okay.
Anyway, he gave me some of his stuff, which is like the strongest stuff ever, and I wasn't prepared, and I took 2 hits and just sat at the bar and ate like an entire pizza and had like 6 drinks. Went on stage and was like, I can do this. I'ma try my set, but I don't know. It was like 5 minutes of that. It was very bad.
See, I've only
all your sets, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah, see, I've only done it once. I've only gotten high once before I got up on stage, and it was the worst mistake ever. It was when James Nim was doing one of his Halloween shows at Othello's, and when and I was going to be Bill Hicks on stage, doing Bill Hicks' material. I was going to recreate Bill Hicks. Favorite comedian, have like memorized every album of his.
I can see that. For you.
I got stoned as shit, and for a person who I've been listening to for 20-something years, I forgot every fucking thing. Every last joke. So I went with the most original Bill Hicks take I could do, which is start screaming at people on stage. I figure if I can't do material, I'm just going to improv it as Bill Hicks.
So you were just like discombobulated.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like it's just everything. And then of course once I get off stage, I'm like, oh shit, and now I remember the entire album. So
everything hits you at once.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's front loaded. It always is. If it's bad, it's up front, and you gotta just weather it.
And it was also the first time that I ever actually had a conversation with Madison Allen. He comes up to me and goes like, "Oh, you had such a great show." I'm like, "Fuck off."
I feel like that's
a good response no matter what.
conversation.
Yeah, if Madison never says anything to you, that's a good
good
answer. It's good.
He's a sweetheart.
I love Madison Allen. I love Madison Allen. Please fuck me.
It's my show with him. Please book this show.
By the way, can you book me? So apparently, we all agree that getting high before the show, no bueno. So, asking about what?
I mean, yes.
Okay. So now the next question I have to ask is, what about pot humor? Like just generally, like comedians that like their whole thing is nothing but riffing on getting high, smoking weed, that kind of thing. Just a whole deal with, making their whole set about being a stoner, kind of thing.
I think that can get kind of tiring. You're beating a dead horse at some point. You can say jokes here and there. You can even implement it. I've in some of my sets, I forget a line. Oop, I should have smoked that joint.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. But to just base your whole set off of it, I think that there are some times, there may be some venues when you can do it, but to do it consistently, I think it's only so many jokes that you can get off of.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a 5-minute set and you're the stoner guy, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
But 45 minutes of it's like, moving on.
Tell it to Doug Benson.
Yeah.
Well, there's the reason Doug Benson has what he has, is because he does it best. I would say.
Yeah, it's,
But you don't want 5 Doug Bensons in a row.
Well, also, like, weed is so ubiquitous in today's culture that it's like, all right, we get the point. Most of us have been there.
Yeah.
But not everyone lives there.
Yeah.
People visit weed, but they don't live at weed.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
are looking for like a more well-rounded, like, you can talk about weed for 20 minutes, but then also talk about how you're a bad dad. Or mom, because I'm not sexist.
Well, they go together.
But yeah, to me, it's like, with like pot humor after a point, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, like my thing is with pot humor is it's almost like, okay, yeah, you're covering the same thing that everybody's ever covered with getting high. And that's why, like, the jokes I tell about getting high are usually like, okay, basic bitch, okay, cool, because pot smokers really are the basic bitch of drug users. They really are.
What does that mean? Basic bitch.
Okay, so like, considering the fact that I've like, done several different varieties of illicit and legally prescribed substances, for pot smokers that sit there and talk about how, like they're all cool and adventurous and shit.
In their head they are.
Oh yeah, they totally are.
You don't even go anywhere.
Yeah, but I mean,
trip,
Yeah, but no, basically, like, if your drug story doesn't involve, and that's when the cops showed up, it's not a good drug story.
Weed has that story. Pot has those stories
okay.
when cops show up.
Okay, fair point.
To be fair, alcohol also has those stories.
Right. Okay, if you don't wake up with a new tattoo in Tijuana, and you're trying to figure out why there's a dead body on the floor, it's not a good drug story.
Autobiography.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a good drug story either. I feel like that story ended very poorly.
All I'm going to say is that there was no conclusive evidence found. So,
God, are you sick?
Conclusive.
what can I say? I'm feeling much better now.
I would feel the same way about, the just sticking on pot humor as with anything else. Like right now, Amy Schumer has alienated people because her act is the same as it was 5 years ago. That's I'm a slutty bitch. And that's all it is.
Right.
Right? It's like, why don't we diversify a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting they brought up Amy Schumer because we did the sexism episode like 3 episodes ago.
I'm saying she's a one-note comedian right now. At least
Okay.
She's just banging the same,
Same drum.
Same thing. I'm a slut, I'm a bitch, all
Yeah. So with like weed, it just like keep harping on that.
I feel like it's, no matter what the topic is, why don't you have some variety?
I mean, unless you like the Snoop Dogg of comedy.
Yeah, like,
then you're just being on brand, really. So.
Yeah.
You would expect.
And even with that, though,
Snoop
there is
talks about
variety
weed.
to it. He
But Snoop talks about weed, but he also talks about other things. Like,
Right.
sure, he gets high before, like, everything. But then he's like, but then I'm gonna talk about my family. I don't know why that was.
Is that your Snoop Dogg voice?
Yeah, that's my Snoop Dogg voice.
Needs work. Needs work.
So do all my
Oh,
impressions.
yeah.
Like, they all end up poorly done. They're just very bad.
I don't know. I totally think you could nail Henry Kissinger. That's just me, though. So.
Wow, he's still alive, but
Yes.
barely.
All right. So now that I've deflated all the atmosphere out of the room, so next question I have to ask is medicinal marijuana. As you guys know, last year we passed I haven't been smoking. But we passed a ballot measure here in Oklahoma that puts medicinal marijuana up for a vote for the whole state. We also passed full point beer, but we didn't pass the budget to increase money for schools. So drunk and stoned is pretty much state policy. So.
It's a good start.
Well, I mean, we didn't. There's more to it than I think they didn't want to add another tax, like on top of our already extremely high sales tax, versus being able to tax medical marijuana and alcohol increase the state's revenue, which at some point would then be able to help with our education system. I'm sorry.
Not the angle we were going for.
But I do
Wow.
agree,
Well, it's
like,
so much funnier if we're just drunk and stuff.
Really?
Education, who cares?
I mean, drunk, stoned, and stupid. I mean, might as well just go all out. I mean,
the big fly.
well, I mean, like I see your point. The symbolism of it is very bad.
What was the question again? Medicinal marijuana?
so
is on the ballot.
we've legalized. We're going to be legalizing medicinal marijuana here. Probably.
Did it pass?
No, it hadn't passed. A little bit. It's on the ballot. It's on the ballot. Which
What's a ballot?
Oh, we
Get
need
it?
to go back to
can't
school.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm just a bill.
Do I text to vote for it?
I can't wait for that to be like
You just text your vote in.
text your vote in, and it's gonna be like Snoop Dogg.
Make sure you use your hashtag.
Please stop making sounds. They're so bad. Like.
No, I just have
Punchy, stop it.
I just have a vision of somebody trying to text to like vote for president, and they end up having the wrong person win Dancing with the Stars, which is what they really actually fucking care about. That's my thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ballroom dancing is beautiful.
We were talking about weed.
Moving
Ballroom
on.
dancing. That's how far removed we are from the topic.
You're right. Yeah, we're so with medicinal marijuana, we're legalizing it, and so I know that a lot of people they're totally cool with legalizing it for medicinal marijuana, but isn't it just basically an easy way to legalize it just anyway?
Like a backdoor way.
Yeah, kind of a backdoor way to legalize it.
Yeah, I don't know of any states that legalize pot before medicinally, having it available medicinally. So yeah, I'm sure it probably softens the pushback.
Or the pushback,
Yeah.
I think that it is, again, it is a backdoor way to get it in the states, to get it in those areas. But I also think, though, that the medicinal is actually helping people. I think that there have been cases that medical marijuana has helped folks, whether it be the marijuana or the CBD oil, It has been beneficial to plenty of patients out here. So yeah, they want to do it, and I think that a lot of states, even as far as recreational marijuana, I think that a lot of states are still paying attention to Colorado, and they're paying how much money Colorado is bringing in. And you know, states like Oklahoma, with the budget crisis that we're going through right now, I think that they're really looking very closely at going ahead and trying to do that.
Well, yeah, Oklahoma's
There's
gonna.
so much reservation. I feel like
Good
people.
answer.
We rehearsed this shit.
We should have
Like,
all.
let me drop
I
some.
mean, were you guys not prepared? I thought I was did
But do you think in this state, do you think it will pass? Is
Oh, yeah.
the real question.
Oh yeah, there's only a few things that'll get people out to vote. And it'll be like, don't raise taxes on me and let me get high.
So
Man,
the
will
whole
it pass?
pot taking away motivation is a myth.
Yo, totally take.
They
No,
totally
take it.
you'll have people
Yeah.
registering to vote to get. Because seriously, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you did a study on all the states that legalized medicinal marijuana, you would notice a sharp uptick in migraines and tummy be fucked up. Okay, I'm just saying that.
Afterwards or before?
Wait,
yeah.
I would actually be really interested in seeing like.
Oh, you're talking about
voter
made up
registration.
Oh yeah.
Doctor, I can't enjoy Pink Floyd. You got
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah, try. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the
Look, my
problem.
dad has glaucoma, so like he would have a specific need for medical marijuana, and like,
Mhm.
I know for a fact that like weed really does help his
His
eyes,
glaucoma.
but because
You're not implicating him though, right?
no, because where we live, like he can't. No, like he literally can't. And then my dad's also an attorney.
He can't.
Nope, my dad. No, he really can't.
All
Because
right.
my dad is an attorney, he gets disbarred, so like it's a struggle for him because he, like when he could, like if he's in Colorado, he's like I can do it and I feel so much better. But like he lives in South Texas now, and they're like, no, and he can't be disbarred because that's his job. So like
Mhm.
I do agree with you. Like there is a need for it, and it does help people, and it would increase revenue. So I just vote.
And I think that Oklahoma, just not being from here, I think that it's more so what the surrounding states around Oklahoma do. You know, Oklahoma may eventually pass that law, but it won't be before Texas, Kansas, Arkansas do it, for example. You know, those are some of the states that I think will have to get more lax in their laws and their beliefs.
Do any of the
before.
surrounding states have medical marijuana legalized? Texas?
I think Texas may.
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't know. But we've got to take a break real quick, and we'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see? That's what they want us to believe in so blindly. But we got to take a stand and start talking about the truth and the facts. So, let's chat. Race Talks with Britannia. Race Talks with Britannia. Yeah, Race Talks with Britannia.
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think
Okay. That's just wrong, dude. So there we go. All right, so we're back. We were talking about medicinal marijuana and money and taxes and all that kind of stuff. And my kind of thing about it is you know, yeah, everybody's looking at it around Oklahoma, you know, seeing how it's going to pan out. And I think Oklahoma might be one of the last to legalize it, you know, even medicinally, because we could still make up the tax money with arresting people and fining them when they're coming back from Colorado. So, but that raises the next question I want to ask you guys: should weed be legal? CJ, you've been kind of quiet.
I mean, I don't see how it's any different than like getting drunk. I mean, it's just, it, you know, alters your mind. It makes you feel different, and people feel whatever better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how it would be any different than you can't be, you know, drunk at work, so you don't be high at work, and don't, you know, smoke and drive, don't drink and drive. But other than that, I don't see why not.
But we know people treat it differently, right? People smoke pot then go work, right?
Well,
People
yeah.
drink it.
People drink
I know
alcohol.
they
Yeah.
do, but we look at them differently than those that get high and go work, don't we?
Well, yeah, but why?
In a way,
They're
because
the same.
One's a fire, one's a flood. They
Right,
put
you can
people just-
hide it, I think, easily.
Well, it depends on what.
On the person.
Obviously, some of us can't do stand-up stones. So.
I do think that it should be legalized because, like you said, how many people are smoking marijuana? How many users are out here? How many people drink alcohol? You know, there are things that are worse that are legal right now.
Yeah, I mean, we got prescription opiates. We've got. You know how many fuckers ask me for my Adderall all the time?
Do you have some?
Not with me.
I'm right here.
Not with me.
Jeez.
But I mean, so we should be legalized. I mean, and why? Why do you think it should be legalized?
I think, and I'm very passionate about this, it ought to be legalized strictly because it should theoretically make music better. Music is terrible right now.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh.
Have you turned on Top 40 in the last 5 years? It's horrible. It sounds like it got crapped out by a computer.
But pop music has always sucked. You're just nostalgic for the old days, okay?
I'm nostalgic for feeling. I'm nostalgic for someone actually putting their blood, sweat, and tears into their music.
To be fair,
Like Smash Mouth. Okay, sure.
No, I mean like Four Non-Blondes.
What's up, man? But like to be fair, like a lot of the top 40 and rap charts, they're all like, and then I hit this blunt, and then I did this rap.
Yeah.
So that's like weed and music and computer generated. So like I feel
That
like
is
that's
the widest way to describe rap I have ever heard in my life.
no one made me like a color card. You know, like I like
You said
walked
they hit
in.
a hoe? What?
They have
I
them
didn't hear that.
I feel like there's no way of saving that one.
No,
so-
there's not. I mean, the only thing that would have made it any wider if you would have done it with like the chant of your sorority once you were done. Really.
Did you want to hear it?
No.
I don't know if I believe that weed should be legalized, but I do firmly believe it should be decriminalized. Like you shouldn't be sent to jail over a dime bag.
Right.
I am still a little wary of having it being completely legal because there is some part of me that I know we were discussing this or we'll eventually discuss this that's like, can it be a gateway drug or
No.
But I
Next question.
I forgot what I was going to say.
No. I used to have that stance, and I agree with it because most people that I knew, or I smoked weed once upon a moon, and it wasn't the only thing I did. And a lot of people I know that smoke pot. It's not the only thing they've done, drug-wise.
Well, people drink alcohol, and that's not the only thing.
Yeah,
And I think that the reason why marijuana isn't legalized is because they don't have the laws to mandate it like they do with everything else. If they have marijuana laws the same way that they have alcohol laws, and they can test your highness, so to say, like they can test your blood alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, they do have tests like that. They are working on where they can do like field sobriety tests, where they can test to see how high you are
They make
without
you-
having to do blood and that
Well, they
kind of
make
stuff.
you listen to the second guitar solo and comfortably numb.
Are you gonna do every cliche with Pink Floyd?
Am I not right?
Oh my God.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Seriously.
I don't know that song.
I like Comfortably Numb, so.
It's a great song.
I was listening to the Black Beatles when I got here. Gucci Mane.
See,
Oh,
It
shit.
doesn't get any whiter than me, guys. I'm so sorry.
no, it's all right. I mean,
Basic is in my name.
yeah, it really.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd see for me, I used to think that it should be legalized, and then I started to realize that for a lot of people that are like really big supporters of legalizing it, they're all about personal freedom and personal liberty and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh man, I should have the right to smoke weed. The libertarian types, which really libertarians are just Republicans that want to get high, for the most part. But I mean, the more I started looking at it, the more I realized, and especially with current events and all that, for me, I support legalization, not because I want to get stoned every day and go to work high every day or just enjoy Pink Floyd.
Please say that with more condensation.
Condensation?
Condensation?
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, the only way it could be more cliche.
Led
is-
Zeppelin.
No, like widespread panic are. So, seriously, if
Reefer
you
madness.
what? Mike, we need better guests next time.
Hey, I got one libertarian joke for you since you brought it up.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's Republicans, right? Free markets. Libertarians, free markets or whatever, man. That's it.
We
Come
stopped
on.
the conversation
Or
for that.
Yes. Don't act like that's not at least mildly funny.
But you know, for me, I support legalizing weed because honestly, the whole reason why weed has been illegalized in this country, and if you actually look at the history of it, all around the world, because we weren't the first place to criminalize it. It started getting criminalized back in the 19th century, and I was reading where the British government banned weed in some of their African colonies because they didn't want their Indian workers that had come over from India to work in the colonies to get high. And they actually used a kind of a dated racist term. They called them, you know, no consumption by the coolies, which...
It's a really cool racist term.
I don't think you can ever say that.
Yeah, no, there's no... Coolies?
It's the chills. It's the chills in the
I feel like
To us here.
Yeah.
You would.
Never.
Like one of them.
That was so many years ago.
Right. Okay, yeah, it was back in like the mid. But yeah, that's the big reason weed has been made illegal is because it was all the dark people using it. I mean, you had the Mexicans coming into the country at the turn of the century because they had the Mexican Revolution going on with Pancho Villa and all that, so they're coming here. You had, jazz music. Oh, jazz.
I was listening to Bitches Brew actually this morning.
I actually caught that reference. I really did. That's amazing.
Thank you. I mean, like Miles Davis.
Me
Once
and-
again, like, so
No, that's not why. No. The fact that it was Miles Davis, which really, I think we found the jazz fan in Oklahoma. So, but for me, legalization, with it disproportionately targeting African Americans and Latino people, it's just, I mean, the fact that I live in Norman and that if I get caught with weed, I'm probably just gonna have to like throw it out, or have the cop take it away. But if I was a black kid, I'm getting thrown underneath the jail, sent out to the county work farm. Does Oklahoma do work farms and all that kind of stuff? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
See my
Look
side.
down, yeah.
Yeah, we're all looking to the black
I don't
guy.
know. I don't know. I went to college, too. I was a college student. And to that point, you are correct, because it does happen. There are a lot of times, and I hate that it's that stereotypical, but it does happen. In a lot of cases, there are people who look like me who get caught with a minor amount of weed and have to pay big fines and big costs and, facing years on jail, and it can mess up your life. That's one reason why I feel it should be legalized. But then also, like you said previously, not everyone who smokes is just sitting at home sleeping on their mom's couch. So there are people who we all know who use it like coffee. They
Yeah.
wake up and they smoke their joint in the
And
morning.
they sleep on their friends' couch.
Yeah, and with
They
this,
have-
That's why I was saying, like, I agree that it should be decriminalized
Mhm.
for exactly what you're saying. Like, it
Yeah.
was criminalized as a way to basically institutionalize racism.
yeah, you
And-
see, like even Mississippi has decriminalized personal consumption.
Yeah.
Mississippi,
Not Oklahoma.
yeah, well, Oklahoma I think legalized dancing about a week ago, so.
One thing that hadn't been mentioned yet is one argument made on behalf of legalizing is people that go to their dealers are dealing more than just weed.
Yeah,
So
you
dealing
see-
hard substance,
Yeah, you see, that's a good point because with like weed, so many people use it. You can grow tons of it. It's cheap to make. Because I mean, like they actually they will comp you weed when you go buy. Like you go buy a nickel bag, a dime bag, a QP. You buy a certain amount. Hey, okay, we'll throw in some extra, on the side to go with it. Because it's that cheap.
What difference you go to? We weren't doing that in my day.
STEM heavy.
Yeah, I buy wholesale. I go home. Sam's Club. Oh my God.
I mean, you gotta slip a few in on me.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think we're all okay here with like the idea of legalizing it or decriminalizing it. I think we're all pretty okay with it. But that's bullshit. That's bullshit that we're all okay with weed because everybody has something they hate about weed. They do. Or they hate something about pot smokers. So what is the thing that you can't fucking stand about weed or weed smokers?
Panic attacks.
I want to go see that on that one.
Weed smells awful.
It does.
As a person who I don't smoke weed. Coming out late in the show.
Damn it, we could have led with that.
Never touched it in my life.
I've never smoked weed, but as a person who does it, it's really weird to be around people who do, because they forget all the time. Every time. And they offer it to me, and then when I'm like, no, I'm good, they're like, are you sure? You feeling okay? I'm like, no, I told you last time, I don't smoke weed. They can't get over that hurdle of like, why wouldn't you just do this? And it's just, well, I don't do it.
So
You just look like it.
I do look a lot. Ever since 10th grade, when I lost some weight, and this kid in my classroom, he said, CJ, you been hitting that weed? I said, no, I just lost some weight. I said, oh, okay.
Is weed supposed to make you lose weight?
That's what I didn't understand. I was
I
just
thought
so
that was
young.
crack.
There is
Right.
no, there is a study out that like weed can help you lose weight because it triggers your desire to eat, and then when you aren't on it, you don't have that
The
desire.
appetite suppressed.
Yeah, but the only problem is that when you do get high and want to eat, you eat the fucking whole pizza by yourself.
And that is what I hate about weed.
Right. Seriously, I got high one time, and it was one of the low notes because they actually have websites now. Seriously, that's how bad weed culture is. Because they have like rating websites. It's like fucking wine now. You know, they go like notes of giddiness, mild notes of hunger. You know, they have all these scales on it. This stuff I smoked was supposed to be like low hunger. I ate an entire extra large pizza, breadsticks, and both lava cakes by myself. I'm just laying on the couch, hoping that somebody takes pity on me and just rolls my ass back into the ocean, you know?
I eat that without.
So you don't need the weed.
Yeah, I eat entire
sounds
stuffed
really
crust
good.
pizzas and do all the bad stuff without the drugs.
Well, one thing I don't like about it is people say it's not addictive, but we all know stoners who can't go without it, right?
Well, yeah, but everything's addictive.
Well, don't say it's not addictive, because it is.
Well, everything is addictive. Seriously, I know chronic masturbators. I mean,
I'm not addicted to
well, put your hand down, Mike.
But, okay, it's always compared to alcohol, and we know alcohol is addictive, right?
Yeah.
But they say, well, pot's not addictive. Yeah, it is.
No, yeah. Well,
I don't think it's addictive to the same level that
I think,
alcohol
yeah,
is,
you can
because
put it
alcohol
away.
becomes a dependency, and I don't think I think people think that we can become a dependency and live by that, but honestly, if you took it away, they would still be a functioning human being.
After a while, but there's studies that say if you're a long-term user and you get off of it, you'll experience anxiety, depression.
yeah, but that's withdrawal of
Weed,
anything.
It's withdrawals. That means it's addictive.
I mean-
that withdrawals from it.
Yeah, I mean, like I
I'm not
get.
saying you're gonna have like heroin withdrawals.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
need
like,
to
I can-
take down to a bed.
If I don't have like 6 Diet Cokes in a day, I commit murder. So, I mean, everybody has addictions and stuff like that.
Caffeine free.
Just how many like murders have you like committed? Like we started with murder, and then with murder.
Depends on your politics, actually. So,
So I think we should legalize weed now, like you.
well, yeah, no. It seems like my thing I can't stand about pot culture is shit like that, where they're talking about like, you know, it's not addictive. You know, the ones that get me are the ones that go like, yeah, man, it doesn't have any harmful side effects. Bullshit. It doesn't have any
There's always
harmful
no side effects. Absolutely.
I mean, first of all, you know, you're gonna get fat if you get the wrong kind.
Unless you're CJ. Theoretically.
Miracle worker, you know.
But, you know, like the ones that are like, yeah, man, it's like totally not harmless, you know, you can smoke it all day long, nothing happens, you won't get cancer. It's smoke. It's smoke, man. I mean, like, nobody ever sits over a campfire going, oh, this is so refreshing, you know?
It's burning plant down your lungs. You know?
I'm getting that oaky smell going, so
Well,
very hickory.
Is there anything you dislike about weed?
I've been thinking.
Do you
it's kind of like open, you know, skunks wandering. You don't know if like your neighbor is like smoking really shitty stuff or like or somebody hit a skunk in the road, you know?
No, I can't think.
You're supposed to know, dang.
I don't like that the negative stigmata that marijuana gets. A lot of things are true. It does make people lazy in some instances. It does, but I think that it also depends on the person. You know, because I've known people. I went to college. I know people who smoked in college, smoked like a chimney, and were still successful, still graduated, went on to do things with their life. So I think that saying that everyone who smokes marijuana isn't going to do nothing with their life, I think that that's wrong to say that. I think that to assume that everyone who smokes marijuana is lazy is wrong. You know, that's what I think about the situation.
So your only problem with weed is people who don't smoke weed, pretty much.
I don't have a problem with people who
That's
don't
my
smoke.
problem.
I don't have a problem with people who don't smoke it. I have a problem with the attitudes that people who don't smoke it have.
Right, the stereotypes,
Yeah,
the lack of education on it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm fine with it. Just
We're all judging you anyway, so.
see, except that's my point right there. It's like I'm the weirdo if I don't smoke weed, but it's just
Come on,
I
man.
don't wanna do it.
Just one hit.
It's like peer pressure, but I'm not in high school.
But you
Or-
got the people when
like,
you
I'm
do.
just not gonna do
When
it.
you
I
do
get,
smoke.
I get your pain. I like get what you're saying though too, because if you go to a lot of comedy shows, like we all do,
Right.
like it's there, and like the people who are there are like, come on, like why not? I'm like, oh, because I gotta drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same
I
thing
know
with
I
alcohol.
can't do
if
that.
If I don't drink a beer, if I'm not having a beer at the bar, then somebody's like, why aren't you drinking at the show? Like, what's
Yeah,
wrong with you?
Yeah, I won't get high if I have to drive, you know, that kind of thing.
I'm poor.
All right, that brings us to the closing parts of our show. So, has anybody got anything they want to plug? Nora, put me on the spot.
Thank you. Well, Tuesday nights I run an open mic at the Barrel, which is on Western. You get a free drink after you perform,
There.
and Spawn will be hosting.
Cool. What about you, CJ? What you got?
Madison Allen and I, who I've admitted I love very dearly, host Divine Comedy every second and fourth Wednesday of the month at 51st Street Speakeasy.
Cool. Who you got coming up next?
We don't have it booked yet.
Okay, cool. Book me.
Plus, I don't know when this airs.
Book me.
I think everybody's trying.
Andrew, what you got?
The next show I have is at Louis on Campus Corner in Norman. It's called A Very Andrew Shanksgiving. It's Tuesday before Thanksgiving. There's two shows at 8 o'clock and at 10 o'clock. And I'll be taking a collection for food and shelter for friends.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's what I do.
Follow that up.
Follow that. That's
No So who you giving money to, Dave?
Oh, myself.
Always the word.
I've got bills to pay. No, I am doing a show for Langston's Homecoming. We'll be doing a show at Venue on Thursday the 19th. Tickets are on sale. Not stale. They're not stale tickets. They're fresh. And that's it.
All right, cool. I've been your host, Amanda Carey, and our topic today has been weed. Here's basically the thing about weed. If you haven't smoked it, you probably don't have a problem with it. The only people who really have a problem with weed are the same kind of people that are really big on like small government, except for when it comes to things that go on in your pants or in your body. Weed is harmless. And what is harmless about weed isn't any more harmful than smoking or drinking or a really good night in Vegas. For the most part, weed is gonna get legalized, whether we want it to or not. And it's been around forever. You can't criminalize it because we're just gonna keep shipping it in. I mean, my God, just ask the rest stop off the interstate when you get from Oklahoma to Colorado. It's the busiest it's ever been. Weed has grown on the earth for thousands of years. It's been around as long as human civilization. The Constitution has been written on it. George Washington grew it. It's here. It's gonna stick around. If it's gonna be medicinal marijuana, fine. Yeah, everybody's getting headaches now. Go ahead with it. Tax the crap out of it. But weed is harmless, and it does have some good benefits like good music, letting white girls appreciate jazz. Seriously, we're gonna pick on you the whole time. But there's nothing harmful about weed. And then there are benefits. There are people who do have great livings and are incredibly productive people with marijuana and drugs. I mean, my God, do you like art? There you go. Art, weed, done. And Pink Floyd, seriously, God.
Smashing Pumpkins, alright? How about that?
No!
Yes! Are you out of your mind? Smashing Pumpkins, dude.
Grateful Dead, Jesus, God, you're a cliche.
No!
And of course, I got the people who don't smoke, and the biggest complaints they really got are things like, it smells weird, which it does. It totally stinks.
It's not weird, it's bad.
It's bad. It does. It smells.
So weird it is. It's not weird.
Seriously, that's why I think the only reason that things like incense were ever invented was to cover up the fact that it reeks like shit. But for the most part, weed's gonna get legalized, and it's gonna be good for us because we can tax the crap out of it. It'll take the money away from the drug dealers, and honestly, the tax money that we use can be used to pay for things like opioid addiction, and also, it's been disproportionately used to target black people, Latinos, and other people that we've always had a problem with. And by doing this, we're making up for the wrongs that we've already committed. That was pretty heavy. Who wants to go get high? All right, that's our show. CJ, you want to get high?
And there's my complaint.
I'm Amanda Carey. Thank you guys for being here.